Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. I have out here Victorian Chic only in a more casual version with the flower beads. It's exactly like the regular Victorian Chic. You make it the exact same way, only we've got some flower beads on the around the bib part of it, and it makes it really cute. I mean, it's really cute and much more casual. And I also did a little bracelet. Now this is posted on Facebook. I'll put this on. The bracelet and the necklace are posted on Facebook, but those of you who do not use Facebook or don't want to go on Facebook, I wanted you to have the opportunity to make this if you want to. You know, there weren't any instructions for it, there was just a picture, and I figured, you know, you could probably do it from the picture, but if you don't go on Facebook, then you're not going to see it. So I wanted you to see it. So there it is. It's like a charm bracelet, so it's going to move around, so I'm just going to show you, see, and then, you know, you go like that, and it's, so it does move a bit, you know, because they are hanging drops. Now, one idea I had about this, which I thought, you know, was, I'm going to do, this is my next, you know, this is what I'm going to do tonight. As I show you how to do this, I'm going to make it into an ankle bracelet, because I put this around my ankle and it just looks so pretty and really fun for the summer. You know, you do a lot of things, you know, you wear jewelry in the summer that maybe you know, you wouldn't wear otherwise. You're going away on the weekends, you're going out, you know, with your friends, and, you know, so maybe you might, you know, get a little more, you're creative or a little more funky with your jewelry, especially us beaders. You know, we love to bead everything. We'd probably bead, you know, nose rings if we could. So, and we probably have. So I'm going to make an ankle bracelet out of this. And, you know, I mean, you make things like toe rings, you know, all that sort of things that you wear in the summer. So why not? Why not make a funky ankle bracelet? So those of you who have not made Victorian Chic and really like the, you want to do the one with the flowers here, go back to the Victorian Chic necklace tutorial and follow the tutorial all the way through, except for where you put these. Everything is going on in the same place, so I'm trying to say. It's just that instead of a drop bead, you know, a teardrop, we're just replacing it with a flower. And this is the only part that is going to be different. So I'm going to make a quickie on it so that you know how to get what to buy and how to get the little, let's say, the little pearl inside this flower and inside the other flower. So it's really pretty simple. And it's fun to make. And if you just want to do something quick, just do the bracelet or do an ankle bracelet. The earring is here. You know, there's a video for it, and it will be, everything is exactly the same. So I'm just going to be teaching you just this part right here. Okay, so let's get a materials list going. And I'm not going to forget it this time, because I did forget to put a materials list on our last video. Okay, and it will all be in the description box underneath the video, so it's right, everything will be written out, so anything I forget will be, it's always remembered in the description box below. So for the bracelet, I'm going to give you amounts for the bracelet, and you can look on the other video for the amounts for the necklace and the earrings. Okay, so you're going to need, let's see, I wrote this down. You're going to need, I use 67 4mm Firepolish beads, and these are tanzanite, and I got them at Eureka Beads. I used 3mm Swarovski crystals. Here, let me pop those out. Okay, and then I used 3mm Swarovski crystals in between the 4mm fire polish. So on the necklace, you give a choice. You know, you can use whatever you want. The sizes are what is what matters as far as this. So you need 4mm beads and 3mm, whether you want to make them fire polish or crystals. That's certainly up to you. You know, your decision. Okay, so I'm using Amethyst in the 3mm. Okay, you will need, excuse my arm there, my little new favorite Heishi bead, and that's a little bead that looks like a it looks kind of like a delica. Here, I'll grab the strand, and they're sold by strand, and it looks like a squashed delica. It's not as, see, okay, there we go. So it's shaped, it's cylinder, it's shaped like a cylinder, but it's squished a bit. So you actually do not need to use these. You can use a 11-0 seed bead, you can use a delica. I'd use a 10-0 delica or an 11-0 delica. Try either one. I don't think it really matters. I think either one would be fine. So that's, we're going to need a bunch of those. We're going to need 3, 6, 9, 11 of these bell flowers, and these are from Eureka Beads, and they're 8x6 millimeter bell flowers. They're purple salvia luster. Now I got these on sale. I don't know that they're still there. They could be. You could try it out. So this is just a, it's a flower bead, but it has a coating on it. I don't know if the coating is going to come off or not. I usually don't buy coated beads, but I thought they were pretty. You're going to need some 4 millimeter pearls, and you'll need, how many do we have of these? We had 4, 8, 11, so you just need 11, but I put a bunch out. Of those, you'll need some 15-0 seed beads, and I'm using bronze Miyuki seed beads, and let's see if we can locate the, here we go. So here it's metallic bronze, and these are 15-0s. You can use any colors, of course, any colors you want. Just the sizes, I say, should be relatively if you want to reproduce this, you'll use the sizes I use. You can do the same thing with other sizes, I'm sure. So we've got the 15-0 seed bead, and then we've got our other flower bead, which is also a bell flower, and it's also from Eureka Beads, and it is check glass. It's a 6x4. I don't know if I said this was an 8x6 millimeter bell flower, and this is a 6x4 millimeter bell flower, and you will need 11 of those. Just for the bracelet. The necklace, you're going to have to, refer back to the other video. And then you're going to need some of these little drops, and these are Miyuki drops, and I believe they're 3x4 millimeter drops. Just those little teeny small drops. And these are going to go inside the little hole of the turquoise bell flower. You'll need a closure bead. This is an 8 millimeter amethyst crystal stop bead. You'll need some 8-pound Fireline. There. You'll need a size 10 beading needle. Let's see, are we good? So I think that's everything. So gather up your materials and we'll get started. Okay, so we're back. We have our materials together, and as I always do before I start any project, I've already threaded my needle, but before I thread it, I'm going to flatten out my Fireline so I can get it through my needle. So just take your flat nose pliers, there we go, and just, I don't know if you can see that, let's see, I know it's difficult to see, just flatten it out. I don't do a thing, that's the very first thing I do. I don't even try to see if it fits through the needle, I just flatten it out and it goes right through. So I've got about a wingspan on. I've put a stop bead at the end. I've left enough so that I can do my clasp. I'd say we're going to be going back and forth, so you can either do it on the way through the bracelet or at the end. So leave yourself a good 10 or 12 inches at the end, just in case you want to put the clasp on at the very end. Okay, so what I'm going to thread on my needle is I'm going to take let's see, I want a 4 millimeter fire polish, a Heishi, a 3mm fire polish, a Heishi, a 4mm fire polish, a Heishi, a 3mm, I'm sorry, fire polish or bicone, Heishi, 4mm, Heishi or seed bead, 3mm, Heishi. So we've got so far. Okay, and another 4mm, Heishi, 3mm, and Heishi. So this is what we have. We have 4mm, and we've got 4 sets of a Heishi, a 3mm, and a Heishi. 2, 3, see, 4. So 4 of each. We're going to bring those down to the end of our stop bead, and we're going to sew up through the bottom where the stop bead is to make this into a circle. So just do a few at a time, you can do them all together, whatever is comfortable for you. So just take that. I'm just going to go around. I'm going to go past my stop bead just to get it, to get it nice and secure. So here I am. I'm coming up to my stop bead. I'm going to come around the stop bead. Okay. And I'm going to go up this 4mm and come out the 4mm. So this is what we have. Okay, we've got, let me pull that a little bit. We've got 4mm, and in between we have the Heishi, the 3mm, and the Heishi. So that's going to be our sequence all the way through the bracelet. So this is right angle weave, so we're going to pick up all of the beads except the one 4mm, because this is the one we're going to share with our next unit. Okay, so we're going to pick up a Heishi, a 3mm, a Heishi, a 4mm, a Heishi, a 3mm, a Heishi, a 4mm, a Heishi, a 3mm, a Heishi. Come on, you. A 4mm, a Heishi, a 3mm. Come on, you, and a Heishi. Okay, I'm going to take that. So here, I'm just going to show you what's on the needle. So we still have our 4 sets of Heishi, 3mm Heishi, but just 3 of the 4mm in between. So we're going to take that. We're coming out of this 4mm, come around and go through the top of it and pull. That's our second unit. Okay. If you've done the Victorian Chic, this is very familiar to you. Okay, so I'm going to sew around till I get to my 4mm. See that? There we go. Sorry about that big band-aid on my thumb. I was I met a sharp knife while I was cutting some fruit up. It's been so hot here that all I've wanted to eat is fruit and cheese and just just really light things. So I was making a huge fruit salad and using a new knife. And I don't generally cut myself, but I did in a little bit. So we have a Band-Aid tonight. All right, so let's go on with a Heishi, 3mm, Heishi, 4mm, Heishi, 3mm, Heishi, 4mm, Heishi, 3mm, Heishi, 4mm, full there, Heishi, 3mm, and Heishi. Okay, put that down. I'm going to bring these down. You don't really need to bring them down. You can just sort of come around and put them, you know, just come around. So you're coming out of the 4mm, just go up that 4mm on the side. Okay, give that a little pull. Okay, and I'm just sort of positioning it. You can turn this around, positioning it just so it's comfortable for you to sew through the beads, because you know sometimes you don't want to be uncomfortable. You want to be able to sew through comfortably, and if that means turning it a little bit, then turn it. As long as it doesn't have any effect on your project, and it doesn't on this one. Okay, so now we have 3 boxes. Okay, so I want you to continue in that manner until you have, let's count our boxes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 boxes. So if you want to do the bracelet, put on your 10 boxes. I'm going to measure my ankle and see how many boxes I need. I probably need, so let's do a quick measurement on this. I know I'm always, I'm always thinking, if you want to do an ankle bracelet. So we've got 10 boxes, and that comes out to 6 inches. So this is about a 7-inch, 6 3/4 inch bracelet, let's say. So ankle bracelets are, it depends on your ankle. You're gonna have to wrap it around your ankle. Anywhere from, I think, 9 inches to whatever. So wrap it around your ankle and you see where you leave enough room for the clasp, which is, it's just going to be about 3/4 of an inch. So just make sure you leave that much room for your clasp. So that's probably, I don't know, we've got 10 boxes, maybe, let's see, well, we'll find out. That's probably, there's 10, so 10. It's probably about 15 boxes, who knows. Just, wrap it around your ankle and see if you want to do the ankle bracelet and see what it comes out to. And if you want to do the bracelet, just do your 10 boxes and wrap it around your wrist and just make sure it fits you. Leave 3/4 of an inch for you. May need an extra box, or you may need to take one off. So this is for me. This is for my my 7.5 inch bracelet. Okay, so I'll meet you back here when we're done with our boxes. Okay, so we're back, and my ankle bracelet has taken 15 boxes. The regular bracelet takes 10 for my 7-inch wrist. So just play with your boxes, wrap it around your hand, wrap it around your ankle, whatever you're making, and you can adjust it as you go along. So I'm coming out of my last box, and I'm gonna just come in a teeny bit because I want you to see, I want to put on the first end of the clasp. So I've come around my box, I came out here, and then I went around again, and I'm coming out of the Heishi bead, not the 4mm. Okay, so this Heishi bead before the 4mm, that's where I'm coming out, and I'm going to put on the crystal, end of my clasp. So that would be this part. So I'll put that over there. Okay, so that's the part we're going to come out of. We're going to do. So take your 15-0s, and I'm going to use. I think I used 7 on the bracelet. I'm going to use. I think I'm going to reduce it by 1. It's 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to do 6. I'm going to do a Heishi bead. I'm going to pick up my 8mm. You can use a smaller one. I thought of even using a flower bead. You know, you can do anything kind of fun and funky here. I'm just doing the basics at the moment, but you can do really just anything. Okay, so that's what you've got. Put on 3. I'm gonna lay this down here. 2, 3 15-0s. Bring those down. Skip 3 15-0s. Go back through your crystal and out the Heishi. Okay. Okay, so this is what you have. Okay. Take 6 15-0s. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want you to go, make sure I have 6. I want you to go, instead of going through here, I want you to go through the Heishi and around that box. So we're actually sewing our clasp, this end of the clasp, into the whole right angle weave unit, which makes it, I think, well, 1, it looks better on this, and 2, more importantly, it's stronger. So your clasp isn't just attached to one bead at the end, it's attached to the entire unit here. So sew around your unit. Coming up. Okay, like so. Go back up your one leg of your clasp, go through your 3. Such an unattractive band-aid. I should have put on like a Cinderella band-aid or something, or a, you know, some sort of happy face. Okay, come down through the Heishi bead. Next time. Well, hopefully there won't be a next time that I'll have a band-aid on. Come through your right angle weave again. So you've gotten 2 passes on that clasp right now. You can go around, do a third. I'm just going to sew in the, I'm just going to go around my box. I'm going to go through the 4mm. I'm going to go, I'm just going to reinforce a little bit. I'm going to try and reinforce. I'm going to get back up to the top, excuse me, part of the neck, the bracelet, and tie a few knots just to end this thread off, because we're going to add another thread on for the for our flowers. So just go through, put a little half hitch before a big bead, so I do before the 4mm fire polish. Now, it may seem a little loose now, but it's not going to be loose. It's all going to tighten up as you put the rest of the beads on. And you don't want this super tight, just like with the necklace. You want it fluid so that, you know, your drops and your flowers or whatever aren't like going to just, you know, stand up straight. You want them to lay nicely. So in order to do that, you want to keep your tension. You want to keep your tension good, but if it's a little loose, it's fine. Okay, so I'm just tying a couple of half hitch knots right before the big beads. And you go ahead and, you know, you can tie as many as you like. I'm just going to probably end it here. Okay, so I'm sort of going around. All right, so you can, you know, you can keep going and tie a few more knots. I'm trying to, as I do them, as I said, I'm going around the boxes, but I'm trying to tie the knots up on the top because, you know, I want to be able to get my drops on. So I'm going to tie one more knot. So here's my last knot. Make sure you're It doesn't get stuck around your beads like mine is a little bit. Make sure it goes in between. Okay, this one doesn't want to a little bit because my thread is getting a little short. So just play with it until you get it over. There you go. Until you get it in between the two beads. There we go. Pull it through the 4mm, and I think that's good. So I'm going to end it there. You can go along, all the way along the top if you like. I'm going to get my little, sorry about that, my little thread burner. I'm just going to cut off that thread, and we've got our boxes done. Okay, so that's where we are. Let me pull out a little bit now that I've gotten that part done. So here's our nice clasp. It's nice and sturdy because it's attached to this unit. And on the bracelet, you want to thread another needle. I have one thread, here we go. I would do a wingspan. Okay. And we're going to do this part here. So I'm going to pick the drops up for a second. We're just going to put on these sort of little, this part here. No flowers yet. We're going to just put sort of a little 3 bead, almost netting in a way, not really, but just, you know, to attach the drops to. So we'll do that all the way across. So we'll get you started on that. So you want to thread another needle. You're holding the end that we just came out of. You're going to come through. Let me just make sure I'm coming through the right one. Okay. So just come. You can really start anywhere at this point. You can just start. I'm getting a little tight here, but you want to get through that 4mm. Okay. So let's pull that through. And then you could just tie this, you know, this thread in later. Okay, and you want to take a Heishi, a 4mm, a Heishi, a 4mm, a Heishi, a 4mm, and a Heishi. So we've got 3 4mm and 4 Heishis in between. We're coming out of this 4mm right here. Just should I put it down? Will that be easier? Coming out of this 4mm. We're just gonna hop over to the next box, to the 4mm on the bottom of the next box. Just come through, and that should be easy to go through because you haven't done any reinforcing over there. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. So you can have like a little triangle down there. So let's do that one more time. You're going to take a Heishi, a 4mm, a Heishi, a 4mm, a Heishi, 4mm, a Heishi. So 3 4mm, 4 Heishis. You're coming out of this box here. Excuse me, this bead here. Just hop over to the next bead and come through. Pull your thread. And you have 2 little triangles. And one thing that you probably can't see because I'm filming at night right now, and it generally during the day it shows more, but this purple with the amethyst, I wish you could see it. Maybe you can, I don't know. It's so sparkly, and those little copper beads in between and the bronze seed beads, it's the prettiest glow ever. It's just so pretty. It sparkles, you know, when the light hits it. I don't know if you can see that. When the light hits it, it has this like this bronzy, warm, you know, sparkle to it. All right, so we'll do this one more time, and then I'll leave you on your own to finish the rest. So again, we're taking a Heishi, 4mm, Heishi, 4mm, Heishi, 4mm, Heishi. We're coming out of this bead here on the bottom, go through the next one over. Just hop over to your next unit and go through the bottom 4mm. Okay, so this is what you'll have. Okay, so continue on until you get to the end and go all the way to the end, and then we'll put the other end of our clasp on, we'll put the loop on, and we'll finally start to get some of these drops on. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so we have completed our bottom triangles, and I wish you could see how sparkly this is. Now it's during the day now, it's the morning, and I just hope that shows up. It's such a pretty sort of coppery, sunsetty glow. I mean, it's just very pretty. So in these colors, I like it. So let's put the loop on to go with our little bead. So I'm not going to use the tail thread. I'm going to just continue on with my the working thread, and I'm going to check how many beads I have on here. So I've got 7 15-ohs, a 3mm crystal. I believe I have 28 15-ohs for my loop. So I'm just going to count 28. It's 10. I'm a little clumsy because of my thumb, but we'll still get there. It's 20. And I'm going to do 26 because I think 28 might be a bit much. I'm just going to test it. So here's my tail. Just going to pull that out of the way. We'll weave that in later. So I have on 7 beads, 7 15-ohs, the little 3mm bicone, and 26 15-ohs. I'm going to come around. I'm going to pass all of the beads except the 15-oh in front of the bicone. And here, let me see if I can come in a little bit. 1 bead in front of the bicone and one of the 15-ohs after. I'm going to pull that down all the way. Let's see how my loop looks. Make sure you get it nice and tight. And I think that's going to be fine. Check with your bead just to make sure. I think I'm all right because I've done it before. Okay, so then I'm going to take 6 15-ohs. And I'm not going to come around that 4mm. I'm going to go down the Heishi bead and around the right angle weave box. So I'm actually, like before, attaching the clasp, the loop end of the clasp, right to that 4mm, that right angle weave unit. So I'm going to go around just that unit. I'm going to go up. So I'm still going around the right angle weave unit. Make sure you get all your beads, don't miss one. Whoops. Don't pull your project completely off the table. Happens all the time. You know, it's just something, you know, you're pulling, all of a sudden the thing is flying out of your hands. So that is totally normal. I notice that I have a little thread over one of my Heishi beads. I'm going to leave it, but just be really careful about making sure that all the thread is, you know, you've gotten all the beads, because sometimes you know, you end up not going through a bead, and then you have thread showing. Okay, so I'm going to go up. And again, I apologize for that Band-Aid. I was hoping I could take it off today, but I still think it's, the Band-Aid looks better. Okay, so just go through all your beads. So just reinforcing. Come around. These little tiny beads come down the 3mm. And out the one bead beneath the 3mm. Give it a little pull. Straighten ourselves out a little bit. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go back down this side. Through the Heishi and around the box again. Just to give it its second pass. So that's just reinforcing at this point. Okay, I'm trying to keep that thumb out of the way, but there's just no way you can keep your thumbs out of the way. So now, for your bracelet or your ankle bracelet, or if you're making your necklace, try to go through the beads again. I'm just going to come out this Heishi bead, and this is where you should end up. So you're going to come out the Heishi bead, and we're going to start putting our finally start putting our flowers on. Now it doesn't matter what end you start at. I think maybe on the bracelet I might have started putting the flowers on the other end, but it doesn't really matter. So you're coming out of that Heishi bead, and I'm just going to look at my, okay, I just want to count my beads. Okay, so I'm going to take 6 15-ohs, a Heishi. I'm going to start with the little flower, a drop. Okay, the little amethyst drop. I'll pull that down. Now the only thing with the drops is that, you know how sometimes when you're doing this sort of thing and you pull through, it pulls through very easily. The drop is not as easy. You know, it will leave a gap in the thread, so you have to make sure if you're using the drop. Actually, that worked out very well. Just make sure when you're using the drop that you make sure you pull it all up tight. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to take 6 15-ohs. I'm going to come through the 4mm that I'm coming out of. So this is going to come my tail thread was a little loose, so I had a thread there, but as soon as I tie that in, that will go away. Okay, so now you're coming out of this 4mm You're going to go through the Heishi, through the 4mm. We're going down now. We're going to go through the Heishi bead and out that bottom 4mm. And like I said, all I'll have to do is just tighten this and tie that thread in, and it will tighten up. Okay, so that's where you are. Okay, maybe I'll come in a teeny bit more just to give you a look. Okay, so now to get the purpley bead on, you're going to take 6 15-ohs, a Heishi, a big purple bellflower, cute, a 4mm pearl, or you probably could use the drop if you want. I'm using the pearl, but you can use the drop. A lot of options here for the interior of your flower. So I've got a little pearl, I've got 3 15-ohs. Going to bring those down. Okay, I'm going to skip the 3 15-ohs. I'm going to come up the pearl. I'm going to come up the flower bead and the Heishi. I'm going to pull. Okay, then I'm going to add 6 15-ohs. Six. So I'm going to pick it up for a second. So I'm coming out of that 4mm. I'm going to just come around, just go through the 4mm. Okay, and that's got your second flower on. Okay, so to get into position for your next flower, come up. I'm going to try to do it on the mat. Come up those two, the Heishi bead and the 4mm. Pull, come around the 4mm, come through that 4mm, and now you're set up for your next flower. So I'll do it one more time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 15-ohs, a Heishi, a little flower, a drop, bring that down to your project. Okay, come back through, skip the drop, come back through the flower and the Heishi. Okay, pull that through. Just remember, pull that so that you don't have any thread showing. 6 15-ohs. That's 6. Come back around through that 4mm right there to make the other part of the drop. Okay, come down through the Heishi, the 4mm, the Heishi, and to that bottom point 4mm. Here you are. Then you're going to add on. I'll do a purple drop just so that we have 2 of each on. So 6 15-ohs. Heishi, a big purple drop, a pearl, 3 15-ohs. Bring those down. I think I probably back off a little bit right now, so let's back off a touch. So skip the 3 15-ohs. Go up the pearl, the flower bead, and the Heishi. Pull. Take 6 15-ohs. Come around the bead you were coming out of, that 4mm point, and pull. Okay, and then just to set yourself up for the next one, go up. You're just going around that point, that sort of triangle. Go up the Heishi, the 4mm, and the Heishi. Come out, or excuse me, go through the 4mm. And now you're ready for your next flower. So that's all it is. There you go. So keep doing that. And you know, it goes slowly on camera because I'm trying to keep it in frame. I'm trying not to have my band-aid show, you know, so you will be done with this very quickly. It's really pretty fast. So keep work till you get to the end, and then we'll tie off, and you'll have an ankle bracelet, necklace, or bracelet. Okay, see you in a few. Okay, so we're done. I've done all the flowers on the bottom, and I've just, as we did earlier, I've just snaked around the right angle weave and made my knots in the top, you know, on the top of the bracelet, so that you don't have to worry about going through all this stuff down here. So just, you know, make if you have a lot of thread, make as many knots as you like, as you feel is comfortable. This is the ankle bracelet. I have a 9-inch ankle above the ankle bone, and so I made a 10. This ankle bracelet came out to be 10 1/4, and it really looks funky cute. It's very cute, and I'm seriously liking it, and I'm going to wear it. So here's the bracelet. Let's see. So as I told you, it's going to flip around, especially the bracelet. The ankle bracelet won't, because you know you're not moving your feet, you know, all over. But it's like a charm bracelet, so it's going to wiggle around. But so just pretend my hand is a foot, and that's how it looks. It's sort of, you know, it drapes down. It's very pretty. I mean, and it's fun. So here you go. There's your ankle bracelet. Here's your bracelet. Here's the necklace. Okay. Here's an earring. I haven't done the other one to that yet, and I may add a ring on. I have some of the flower beads left, so I'm really there's a ring been going around in my head, and I will make a ring for this. And once I categorize everything into collections, which I'm going to do, but it will be a week or so before I do that. You can always look back at the collection and see what I've added to it, because sometimes I'll think about something I've made before, and I'll add to it. So you'll see that video anyway, you know, if I add to anything. So here we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will leave me a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like me on Facebook. That would be great if you do a little Facebook, because I have all kinds of things on Facebook that I can't post on, you know, on YouTube, like pictures of things like this, especially. This is the first YouTube video of this, but yet I have pictures and ideas on my Facebook page. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.